Be real clear. I don't necessarily think they know what's going on yet. There's a lot of weird going on with.
They told us the story was simple. A tragedy, a grieving widow, a nation watching in sympathy. But scratch the surface and the mask falls fast. The widow, who she says she is. Evidence is emerging that she was groomed, trained, and positioned in place. Not to mourn, but...
The internet is on fire. Whispers have turned into headlines, and speculation is spreading faster than anyone can keep up. Just days after Joe Rogan dropped what he called explosive new evidence about Charlie Kirk's legacy. His widow, Erika Kirk, has completely vanished from public view. Her social media accounts have gone silent, her appearances cancelled, and even her closest circle refuses to comment. People are calling it coincidence, but the timing is too perfect, too chilling, to ignore. What did Joe Rogan uncover? And why did Erika disappear right after? Was this an escape from pressure? Or a reaction to something much darker? Something that's been hidden all along? This isn't just another rumor. This feels like a mystery unraveling in real time. And as fans and followers dig for answers, one question echoes louder than the rest. Did Joe Rogan's revelation push her to vanish? Or expose something the world was never supposed to see? To understand the shock of this moment, you have to go back to where it all began, to Charlie and Erika Kirk's story. Together, they were seen as one of the most influential young conservative couples in America. Charlie Kirk, bold, outspoken, and unafraid of controversy. Erika Kirk poised, graceful, and the quiet strength behind the man everyone talked about. While Charlie made headlines for his ideas and speeches, Erika chose silence, rarely speaking publicly, yet always present beside him. To many, she represented stability, faith, and loyalty, a reminder that behind every loud public voice, there's often a private heart holding it all together. But after Charlie's sudden passing, that image began to crack. The media swarmed, questions emerged, and rumors began to circulate. Still, Erika stayed quiet until now, when her silence turned into disappearance. Now add Joe Rogan to the mix. A man known for pulling no punches and asking the questions no one else dares to. When he recently spoke about undisclosed evidence related to Charlie's final months, everything changed. Fans immediately turned their attention to Erika, wondering what she knew, what she had seen, and why she was suddenly gone. The calm had shattered, and what was once a love story is now turning into one of the most mysterious disappearances in modern conservative media. It all started during an unassuming episode of The Joe Rogan Experience. What seemed like a typical conversation quickly turned into something that left the entire internet stunned. Joe's tone shifted. It wasn't his usual curiosity or humor. His voice grew quiet, deliberate, and unusually serious. He leaned forward and said, "There's more to this story than people realize. There's evidence that never saw the light of day, evidence that could change everything we've been told about Charlie Kirk's final months." The studio fell silent. His guest looked stunned. It was one of those moments where time seems to stop, when words feel heavier than they should. Joe didn't elaborate right away, almost as if he knew the weight of what he'd just said. But it was too late. The clip spread online like wildfire within minutes. Viewers clipped the moment, replayed it frame by frame, analyzing every expression, every pause, every glance between Joe and his guest. What did he mean by evidence? Who had it? And why now? Rumors began circulating that Joe was referring to something hidden, private communications, personal records, maybe even a message that had never been made public. Some speculated that Rogan had been approached by someone close to the Kirks, someone who wanted the truth out but didn't know how to release it safely. Others believed it was simply Joe connecting dots, that others had missed a theory, not a revelation. But then, just days after that episode aired, Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, vanished from public view. Her social media went dark. Her podcast stopped releasing episodes. Even close friends refused to comment. That's when the internet exploded. Fans began asking, did Joe know something before everyone else? Was Erika hiding something, or was she being protected from something? For years, the story of Charlie and Erika had been about love, faith, and legacy. But now, after Joe's cryptic words, that legacy was clouded by something darker, something that felt like a secret, waiting to break open. And in that moment, what started as a podcast conversation became a national mystery, one that nobody could ignore. In the days following Joe Rogan's shocking comments, Erika Kirk's sudden silence became the center of a media storm. One day, she was posting motivational quotes, sharing podcast snippets about faith and resilience, and then, just like that, everything stopped. Her Instagram went inactive. No new tweets. No public appearances. Even the usually polished photos that once showed her poised and smiling were suddenly gone, deleted without explanation. Fans noticed first, and within hours, #WhereIsErika began trending across social platforms. At first, people assumed she was taking a break, maybe needing space after Rogan's viral remarks. But as days turned into weeks, concern grew. A few of Charlie's supporters came forward, saying they hadn't been able to reach her. A former colleague posted, "Something feels off. Erika always stayed grounded, even under pressure, but this silence isn't her." That single comment was enough to set the internet ablaze. Reddit threads popped up overnight, claiming she was being protected, hidden, or even silenced. Others speculated she had fled to avoid the growing attention around whatever Joe had hinted at. The speculation grew darker. Some claimed she had received threats. Others believed she left voluntarily, overwhelmed by the public scrutiny that followed Rogan's words. And then, an unverified account posted what appeared to be a grainy photo of someone resembling Erika at an airport in Texas alone, wearing a cap and hoodie, trying to avoid being recognized. Whether it was real or not didn't matter. The image spread like wildfire, adding fuel to the mystery. Mainstream outlets tried to stay cautious, but even they couldn't ignore the growing frenzy. Headlines like "Erika Kirk missing." Fans' fear for her safety after Rogan comments started circulating, mixing fact with speculation. Some conservative commentators urged people to respect her privacy, while others questioned if her disappearance was linked to the new evidence Joe Rogan had mentioned. What made it all more emotional was how divided the public became. To some, Erika's vanishing was a tragic sign of a woman pushed too far by the pressure of fame, grief, and conspiracy. To others, it was proof that something much larger, and far more secret, was happening behind the scenes. And just like that, the story of Erika Kirk transformed from a quiet life of faith and love into one of mystery, fear, and unanswered questions. The more people searched for answers, the deeper the mystery became, and the more haunting Joe Rogan's words sounded. There's more to this story than people realize. As the headlines grew louder, Erika Kirk's silence became more than a mystery. It became a mirror reflecting grief, guilt, and the unbearable weight of public expectation. People began to realize this wasn't just a disappearance. It was the story of a woman who had carried too much, for too long. Ever since Charlie's passing, Erika had been the image of calm resilience, speaking about faith, family, and forgiveness. But behind those calm eyes, fans now wondered, was she battling something darker? The kind of pain that doesn't show up in interviews, or behind carefully chosen words on social media. Every photo, every old clip of Erika began to take on new meaning. Her soft smiles, once symbols of grace, now seemed tinged with exhaustion. In podcasts, fans replayed her voice, gentle but trembling, as if she were holding back more than just tears. She sounded tired, one listener posted, "Not the kind of tired you fix with sleep, the kind that comes from holding secrets." Those words echoed across fan forums and TikTok clips, where emotional montages paired Erika's images with sad piano music and captions like "Maybe silence is her way of surviving." Psychologists even began weighing in on news panels, suggesting that Erika's retreat might be a coping mechanism, a way to shield herself from relentless speculation and protect whatever truth she held close. When someone experiences profound loss, one expert said, the line between privacy and isolation can blur. Sometimes silence isn't about hiding, it's about healing. But others weren't so sure. For them, her vanishing act felt like unfinished business, a story half told, a truth buried under too many whispers. Even Candace Owens, who had previously defended Erika, hinted that something deeper might be going on. "People grieve differently," she said in a clipped, somber tone. "But when silence turns into disappearance, that's not peace, that's pain." Those words struck a nerve. They weren't accusatory, but they made everyone stop and think. Maybe Erika's silence wasn't defiance, maybe it was heartbreak. And yet, beneath all the empathy, the internet couldn't help itself. Curiosity kept turning compassion into conspiracy. Was Erika's silence protecting someone? Was she escaping the aftermath of what Joe Rogan revealed? Or was this her final act of control, choosing to disappear before anyone else could write her story for her? Whatever the truth was, one thing became painfully clear. Erika Kirk's silence spoke louder than any statement could. It wasn't just absence, it was a message, a quiet scream in a world addicted to noise. And as fans scrolled through her old posts, re-watching her smile and whispering "come back," her silence began to feel less like mystery, and more like mourning. Once Erika Kirk vanished, following Joe Rogan's explosive comments, The story quickly spiraled into a media frenzy. Social media was ablaze within hours. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, and YouTube exploded with theories, videos, and heated debates. Clips of Rogan's show were replayed thousands of times, dissected frame by frame, with fans analyzing his pauses, inflections, and the weight behind every word. Hashtags like #WhereIsErika, #JoeRoganExposes, and #CharlieKirk mystery trended worldwide, drawing attention from both supporters and critics alike. Mainstream outlets jumped in, publishing articles with cautious headlines like "Charlie Kirk's widow missing." Questions arise after Joe Rogan's comments, and fans speculate on Erika Kirk's silence following explosive reveal. Influencers and commentators weighed in from every angle. Some criticized Joe for potentially causing public stress to a grieving widow, while others praised him for uncovering truths that many had overlooked. Panel discussions and podcasts debated whether Erika's disappearance was voluntary, protective, or a direct response to Rogan's revelations. Fans themselves were torn between worry and obsession. Emotional posts flooded Instagram and Reddit, some expressing heartfelt concern for Erika's safety, while others dug into every public post and photo, trying to connect dots that might hint at her location or state of mind. TikTok compilations paired her past appearances with suspenseful music, narrating her story as if it were a thriller unfolding in real life. Even within political and conservative circles, reactions were mixed. Allies of Charlie Kirk defended Erika's privacy, urging the public to stop speculating and let her grieve. Opponents seized the moment to critique the family, spinning theories about hidden secrets, undisclosed evidence, and the timing of Rogan's reveal. The online discourse became a perfect storm of empathy, intrigue, and controversy, every theory amplifying the narrative and driving even more viewers into the story. By the end of the week, Erika Kirk's silence had become a cultural talking point, a symbol of grief, mystery, and power. The fallout proved one undeniable truth. In the age of social media, when a high-profile figure disappears, every word, gesture, and silence becomes a story, and the public will fill in the gaps, whether accurate or imagined. The stage was set for the next chapter, leaving fans desperate for answers, and the world waiting to see if Erika would ever speak again. Beyond the headlines, hashtags, and viral clips lies a deeply human story, one that no camera, podcast, or social media post can truly capture. Erika Kirk's disappearance isn't just a mystery for the public to solve. It's a personal journey of grief, resilience, and the weight of living in a spotlight that never sleeps. Losing Charlie Kirk was more than a public tragedy, it was an intimate loss, a life-altering moment that changed everything she knew about love, family, and trust. Her silence, sudden and total, speaks volumes. It's not just absence. It's a protective shield, a coping mechanism, and perhaps the only way she can process the storm of emotion surrounding her. Fans began to see Erika differently in this context. What was once a poised, composed figure became a symbol of private pain in a world obsessed with public narratives. Clips of her previous interviews, her calm smiles, and the warmth she showed to Charlie now carried new weight, every gesture interpreted as evidence of the love she still carries. Even as she navigates loss, psychologists and commentators suggested that Erika's withdrawal was not a sign of avoidance, but of survival, a necessary retreat from a society that often forces grief into spectacle. Amid the gossip, the conspiracy theories, and the viral speculation, a simple truth emerges: Erika is a human being first, one who loved, lost, and is now grappling with unimaginable pressure. Her silence challenges the public to pause, to consider the cost of prying into someone else's sorrow. It reminds viewers that behind every headline is a real person, with emotions that cannot be quantified by likes, shares, or trending topics. And perhaps that is the real lesson of this unfolding saga. Sometimes the most powerful stories aren't about what is revealed, but about what is withheld, the quiet strength it takes to endure, the courage in disappearing when the world demands performance, and the humanity in navigating grief while millions watch. Erika's silence may be mysterious, it may be misunderstood, but above all, it is profoundly human. As the story continues to unfold, one thing is certain: the world has not seen the last of Erika Kirk. Joe Rogan's explosive revelations, her sudden disappearance, and the speculation surrounding her silence have created a narrative that is equal parts mystery, heartbreak, and intrigue. Fans are left asking questions with no easy answers. What did Erika know? Why did she vanish when she did? And when, if ever, will the truth come to light? While some view this as a scandal or a conspiracy, Others see it as a deeply human moment, a reminder that grief, loss, and personal struggle cannot always be neatly explained or publicly displayed. Erika's story forces the audience to confront the consequences of curiosity and the pressure placed on individuals who live their lives in the spotlight. Her silence is her voice, her shield, and perhaps the only way she can navigate a world demanding answers she may not be ready to give. And as the suspense builds, the question remains, will Erika reappear to tell her side of the story? Or will this chapter remain one of the most enduring mysteries in modern public life? We want to hear from you. What do you think Erika knows? And why do you believe she disappeared? Could Joe Rogan's evidence have triggered her sudden retreat? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the next explosive update in this ongoing story. The mystery isn't over, and the world is watching.